president of the board of directors at SeedBlink, which is the fastest growing investing platform specialized in sourcing, vetting, financing, and scaling European tech startups. He was a banker before, for 20 years. Yeah? Can we try again?
No, yeah, it's fine.
Try, would you dare say banking?
Yeah, I can say banking, yeah.
Okay, it's working now. Nobody's perfect. So after 20 years in banking, in 2018, you pivoted your career, which was a very bold move, and you entered the entrepreneurship world. You first co-founded Human Finance platform that developed education digital tools for entrepreneurs and aggregated an investment readiness rating for early stage and innovative startups. I guess this was the stepping stone then to SeedBlink, which you founded in 2019 with your partners, which was a spin-off from your previous adventure, right? Adventure.
Very, very well informed.
I am. It's my job to be. And since then, what I'm really impressed about is that in less than 3 years, you brought together 11,000 investors, or more than 11,000 investors, who are co-investing in rounds at SeedBlink. What is the secret of such fast scaling? Because in the end, you're not only supporting startups, but you're a startup yourself.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm very glad to be here, and thanks for the ones that have climbed 3 floors after lunch along with us here. And I'm glad that we are back on the stage together after only 1 week. Last week we've been to Sofia and we had a different event, but yeah, Irina was again moderator.
I'm actually also impressed how fast you managed to get back to Romania, because he was in Sofia last week and then he flew to Greece.
To Athens, yeah.
To Athens, and now you're coming back. Okay.
Sibiu, now, then Bucharest, and now Cluj. Actually, Cluj, I have a special link with Cluj because I used to work in banking for 15 years here. Although I had flights every week, I was not based in Cluj, but yeah, I used to work for Banca Transilvania 15 years. Coming back to your question about our community and how we grew in 2.5 years, basically, to a community of more than 11,000 investors. Our roots are from Romania. We started, and our discovery journey was with human finance, and then we identified the need for more alternative funding sources for tech entrepreneurs. And with SeedBlink, first we designed, or we started with the aim to help people, to help entrepreneurs to get knowledge and to get funding. And really, it was more social impact desire. And then, after we really seen that there is a need we are covering, both for the startups, but also for the investors, that we basically democratize the access for you asked me how we call them, daily investors, this is a different class of asset as the classical ones. It really ruled out, and more and more startups came on the platform, and then more and more investors joined us. And right now we are proud to have our community coming from 50 different countries, 50. So we are not anymore Romania, although the hub is here, and we have 85% of the investor community. They are Romanians or diaspora, Romanian from diaspora. But still, if people from 50 different countries have been reached by SeedBlink, and they spend at least 5 minutes to onboard in SeedBlink, because it's a process. We need the KYC. Then yeah, we are very proud to be to reach this stage in 2.5 years. And yeah, we have the motivation of helping the European countries to be more united from this perspective of funding startups, and investors to invest also in other countries, because this was a barrier so far, and we try to challenge that.
We're going to get to that. What I'm interested now is, like, what is the smallest amount that someone invested through the SeedBlink platform, and what is the largest amount?
And we started from the very beginning because we referred first of all to the typical crowdfunding platforms that the most popular ones are in UK, former Europe right now, and US. And we have tried to accommodate what they are doing, but linked to the legislation that is quite complicated here in Romania and in this part of Europe. That's why probably we don't have in Europe too many leaders of such platforms that that have a relevance across Europe. And they are more related to their home countries or some regions. And we started with 2,500. That was the minimum ticket that we started with, and it's still there. So, although that we have a product for the club investors that with a subscription they could invest starting with 1,000. So, but it's a different product for our investors. That's why from the very beginning we haven't been in that space of typical crowdfunding, and step by step, after 60 startups, we have already 60 different companies we have in our portfolio. We facilitated funding for. We just said it more openly that we are not the typical crowdfunding. We are a venture co-investing platform in tech startups. And our typical investors are not coming from necessarily from the retail area. People which don't have necessary knowledge how to invest in this class of assets. They have more knowledge already. So, but we are also helping with our products to get more knowledge and to build portfolios and not to invest in just one single startup.
So yet again, what is the largest ticket that you have?
The largest ticket, it depends on the level of the size of the round, is normally in the range of 15% of the amount that we are raising with SeedBlink. So there were cases with 50,000, 75,000. But we do have investors that build a portfolio of 200K already. We have a special one with more than 400K, and people that have invested in more than 20 startups already.
And they're diversifying also through the platform. Which brings me actually, because I'm well informed, especially about what you're doing. So you did a very smart pivot, which was you started co-investing with the VC funds. Why did you do that? And why was this actually smart? I know that it was, but maybe you can share also with the more and more people who are climbing the stairs to be with us. Cool. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for the effort for climbing 3 floors. It came in our discovery journey. As you said, we are a startup ourselves, and we have to calibrate always to pay attention to the market, to what our customers need. And there was feedback from different investors that they want access to the companies where VCs are investing. So, and from the very beginning, our first listing of a company, it was made along with a VC from Romania. So it was the start, and then step by step we also had several startups that had no lead investor. They were more early stage, and then right now I think more than 90% or even 95% of the startups listed on SeedBlink have access or they have as lead investor either a VC or a business angel, or we had some cases where a corporation was playing this role of being lead investor. So that's the product we designed. It's really democratizing the access of a daily investor, not a typical business angel, to this world where already with SeedBlink we have our filters. We have 4 different pillars of until a company, a startup is approved to be listed on SeedBlink. My colleagues, we have 2 of them here here with us, and we have a team of 6 or 7 scouters right now in different countries, and they counted more than 2,000 startups they have seen in these 2.5 years, and only 60 of them are on the platform. Besides this, we have this filter, of course, of reputable VCs that are analyzing themselves separately the opportunity to invest in a certain startup. So we have more than 4 eyes principle.
So you basically provide the startup sourcing, you hunt for the startups yourself. What about the due diligence? Do you do that with the lead investor, or do you do that also separately?
We do it separately from the reputational point of view and operational point of view, legal point of view. The finance part, if we are referring to a startup from abroad, we don't have all the tools right now to make all this financial due diligence, and that's why we prefer. And from abroad, we have startups already with a lead investor that provides us with that kind of due diligence, and also the legal framework. If it's more specific, we are also making the links with that due diligence. But on the long run, we do want to invest in a very strong due diligence department that should be one of our main let's say, advantages as a platform as compared to other players in the market, to have a very strong due diligence process, which, could be more not very easy for the startups to access it, but still, we should look very carefully to the needs of the investors in order the startups to have the proper investors joining their rounds.
That's true. So you just recently started operations in Bulgaria, but also in Greece. I think Greece was actually the last market that you launched. Do you think that there are some lessons that you have gained here in the Romanian market that you can now apply again and maybe replicate certain models in the new markets? Do you see, these countries having common challenges when it comes to investing and working with startups?
Yeah, that's very true. We, as I said in Sofia, and I see here some former bankers with us. I remember a positioning of I think it's HSBC that was saying that think global and act local. That's our approach by now. That's why we are building our network of very strong people on the ground in different countries, but having also this global approach, regional approach right now. And there are a lot of comparison to be made in the Balkans, but now we are also going west, and for sure the cultures are different. On the other side, if we're referring to our space in the Balkans, I think we have a I have noticed it first in Romania, but now with different startups that we are meeting also in Bulgaria and Greece, people are, or founders, they are not very extrovert. They have this issue of pitching more and more to different environments, not necessarily only to investors, but also telling their story. Which is totally different in other cultures, and they also the very deep tech founders are so much in love with their product and not very much enthusiastic to go to the market and find the feedback from the market. So I think there are issues that in time for sure it will be an evolution, but I have seen it as a common ground for our markets.
I can definitely agree with that. I see that also with the startups that we're working with. Sometimes we need to extract the story which we're doing as a journalist, so they're pitching to us in a way as well. And they're so bad at that. Sometimes we just need to, ask them the questions and pick it up, and then we write the story, and they come to us and they tell us, "Actually, you've done a great job."
Oh, it's my product, it's my company.
Exactly. So right now, what we also started seeing, I think, for the first time, is that we have more and more cross-border investment. So just a week ago, I was talking to a Greek angel investor who is investing in Romanian startups. We see also the VCs from Bulgaria investing in Romania, and also the other way around. Is this affecting also the way that investors on the SeedBlink platform are thinking? Because before that, angels were always trying to have a more like a local impact. They were investing in their own countries.
That's still the case, but you properly mentioned that it is a change in behavior. We try to push that as well ourselves and try to educate with our. We have a product called My Portfolio, where each investor, part of our community, could define their investment thesis and. Also, after making several investments, they can see what are the gaps compared to their thesis. And one of the gaps we had for most of the portfolios is they indeed are more comfortable to invest in the neighborhood environment because they feel more comfort, although the startup could not be the same successful as one from a different country from the same vertical. And that's the education we want to promote, is that you as a daily investor or the one that you don't have too much time to spend on making all kinds of analysis with the markets, with the startups, to be involved directly in their due diligence and this kind of stuff, you have to build portfolios. So that's the only and to be spread, to be a diversified portfolio, not only in terms of maturity of the startups, but also in terms of verticals and geographies, because we have seen companies performing much better because of us in a certain vertical in a certain country because of the school or the environment they are acting in. So, and maybe in some more developed ecosystem, you have a better access to funding. But again, we are building communities in each country, and most of the community, or let's say 70–80% of them are preferring to invest in the neighborhood, but the difference, 20%, have already started to invest cross-border, which is an important sign, and we really want to put our knowledge at work and to try to really make a united environment for investment across Europe, although especially that the legal framework is helping us to do that. And Europe is needing such a united environment. We are facing big competition as Europe from US, from Asia. There is a long way to go there, but we are, everybody's, if it's, we are joining forces, we could be there.
I think united region and further integration, especially here in the Balkans and also Central and Eastern Europe, will actually open up new opportunities for everyone. So it's going to be good for everyone. I think we maybe need to start thinking of neighborhoods in a different way. Like maybe it's not just my immediate geographical region, but more like the like-minded people that are in Cluj, in Bucharest, in Athens, in Belgrade even. Why not?
Yeah, because we do enjoy to drink Italian wines and to eat French cheese. Why not investing cross-border?
Exactly. So I have another question, because I think you do a lot of education for people who are a first-time investor in a startup. They might have some experience in real estate maybe or commodities, but through the SeedBlink platform they get a taste for the first time of what is it to invest in a startup. So let's say I am not part of the innovation community or the startup community. I invest mostly in real estate or commodities or maybe even crypto. Why should I consider investing through the SeedBlink platform? Aren't such investments very risky? Like, what is data saying in this regard?
As I said, it's a very risky investment because we are talking about startups. Any startup could have a failure at some point in time because every startup is facing every day a lot of obstacles, and everything is unpredictable. On the other side, it's another reason why we are co-investing with VCs, because there are clear figures showing that the most profitable investment that was made in Europe in the last 10 years was the venture investing, the venture investments. So there is a lot of risk, but a lot of potential. So you have to calibrate your portfolio as an investor, let's say classical investors. But if you invest in crypto, you already have a lot of risks there. So you are open to risks. So it's a different class of assets that you can, through us at least, but also through other platforms, you can access startups and get a better knowledge how they are acting, what are the barriers they have, and how to calibrate your portfolio in order to be successful with this kind of investment. And a lot of our investors, because we were coming with a product totally new in the market, we have investors that came, they have big portfolios in real estate, on the stock exchange, in, of course, crypto, some of them. So the opportunities on the market in this part of Europe, they are not that many for a typical investor. So they can get knowledge, and now they have bigger and bigger portfolios. But I wouldn't recommend to make a big step from the beginning. So try with the minimum ticket, even with the club opportunity to invest 1,000 euro if you have the subscription, and build a portfolio. And then in time you'll see how you can better have a better approach in terms of portfolio, and better startups, and diversify portfolio. And actually this week, because that's another topic for this kind of investment, the liquidity, we will announce the secondary market for the rounds, for the new rounds, follow-on rounds for the startups that are part of our portfolio, meaning that investors in an earlier stage through us could make a trade between their shares in a sort of a secondary market organized just for this community of existing investors of the startups.
Oh, that's very cool.
But we have also Bucharest Stock Exchange here in the next to us, and we do have a partnership with them. On the long run, we want to generate or to organize also liquidity market for this kind of investments. And yeah, we have a lot of plans for making our investors happier.
Oh, this is really exciting. Before we move to the questions, maybe I can ask someone from the event organizers in the back to help me with the micro. Raise your hand. I think we can almost see you despite the lights there. I have one final question. So you mentioned that it is risky, but in the long run, let's say over what kind of period, like are we talking 5 years, 10 years, it's the most
I would say, looking to other markets, the minimum, the average period for having a successful startup in your portfolio is 4 to 5 years. But we already, because we have a pilot for 2 startups that had follow-on rounds, and we had a pilot for this secondary market, we have investors that made already 4.5 times in 9 months for the startups they invested in with us. So that's why more and more people are keeping an eye or opening an eye to see what's happening with this kind of investment opportunities. But typically, 4 to 5 years, you'll see a success story in your portfolio.
So besides the financial aspect of investing in startups, I think a lot of people actually do that because they want to have like a positive impact on the local economy or the regional economy. In this sense, a lot of people probably will be experienced in some kind of industry or business. Do you somehow facilitate also these connections happening between the investors on the SeedBlink platform and also the founders? Can they somehow exchange knowledge? Or because with the business angel, it's usually like that. The business angel is jumping in also with it's smart money.
Exactly. Yeah, it's important opportunity for us. Thank you for raising it. We have started from the very beginning to try to build a sort of community between founders and their investors, because once you have 50 investors on board, you could, as a founder, transform them in ambassadors of your product, or supporters, or advisors for your company, because at least half of them have a knowledge in that specific industry or in that vertical. So we had founders that had let's say, a simple conversation with their ambassador, with their network of investors, and asked them, can someone help me with an entrance to this enterprise? And at least 2 or 3 persons said, yeah, please connect with this guy, and I will make you an entrance there. So this is just one example. We have a lot of potential advisors for them, and we invested recently in a powerful tool for community. It's called, our product is called SeedBlink Circle. We are doing exactly, we are trying to achieve this goal, to make a smooth cooperation between founders and their investors. Because, yeah, typically with a business angel or a VC, you have one guy as a business angel, or maybe 5 partners of the VC that could help you with, but we have a powerful community that could consist of 100 people that could play from behind and help you in different respects. So, yeah, it's.
This is definitely one of the reasons that I would go on the SeedBlink platform, because I think you can actually help me build my advisory board. Do we have some questions in the audience? Who is daring? Oh, there is 1, 2. Okay. Can you help me with the mic, please? Yes, cool. Thank you.
Hi, Alexander here. Thank you for sharing with us this information. I have actually 2 questions, please, very short. First of all, how many startups are from Romania and how many from abroad, if you can share with us? And the second, something more about your approach in abroad. If you are launching your product in another country, usually you are looking for new partners, new investors there, or you just open, I don't know, a new point of work and try to conquer the market.
So in short, just explain your go-to-market strategy here.
Thank you for the questions. Right now, out of the 60 startups that we already facilitated funding for, I think roughly 40 are Romanians and 20, I'm not sure, but probably in this range. I don't have the exact figures, but right now with the new companies coming on SeedBlink, they are half and half in the last 6 months, 9 months. Our go-to-market in other geographies, we are testing different approaches. So in the Balkans, we have been there, already had a network of different VCs, partners there, and then we decide to hire a country representative. That the main goal for him is to build the investors community and to bring in interesting startups for that community. That's in the Balkans already happening. So it's a model that we applied in Romania. It's how we developed here. However, in the Western countries, we are planning to go. We are looking for partnerships, alliances, before having a country manager there, or maybe some. We are also now negotiating a sort of M&A deal in Western countries. So could be a different approach, but we are testing and adapting and learning from different perspectives.
Very cool. Okay.
I had one.
We had a second one, yeah.
I came a bit later, so I have no clue if you've answered this. But how long does it take for you to clear the actual funds after the project gets funded?
How long does it take to have a
Today,
project funded?
by the way.
How long does it take a new round on SeedBlink?
No. How long does it take for you to clear the actual round? to actually provide the money?
After the round is closed
Yeah.
on SeedBlink,
Ah,
the
okay.
operational model, you mean, to raise the
Yeah.
money.
How long?
It could take between 30 days to 45 days. It depends on the number of investors. After 2 years and a half, with more than 60 startups, we have an automation there with the Registry of Commerce and this kind of bureaucratic things. But yeah, this is the range right now.
I'm asking because at some point you were aiming for under 3 months. I know the first rounds, they went really well, and then the clearance got harder than 100 to do, and then you got very close to 3 months until you actually cleared the funds.
It could have been in last year. We had 2 or 3 cases like that. But I think now we are again in this, for sure we are again in these benchmarks. Right now we are looking to a different operational model. We'll announce it soon, hopefully, to build the trust and escaping from this SPV world, which is more bureaucratic. But we'll announce it when everything will be ready to be launched.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the questions.
Thank you so much. And I would like to ask you to give a big applause to Andrei, who is going to be here how long?
Until tomorrow evening. So
Okay,
we
so
can meet.
he will stick around. You can talk to him also face to face. Big applause, please, for Andrei. Thank
And
you.
for Irina.
Thank you so much.